We've been living in this house for a few years now, but I'm still improving my kitchen one drawer at a time, because a kitchen can look finished and still not work perfectly for everyday life. Today I'm sharing practical storage ideas that made my kitchen easier to use, easier to clean up and much more organized. And now let's get started. I have a new find for my kitchen and I have to say I am really happy with it. These are bamboo drawer dividers. What makes them so useful is that they are spring-loaded, so they fit firmly between the sides of the drawer. You may remember that I showed a similar system before, but that one was made of plastic. I use those dividers in my board game drawer. These bamboo dividers are going into the drawer where I store my dishes. Before I had tension rods here, 2 rods in each section. I have other plans for those rods now, and these new dividers are much more stable, so I am happy to replace them. Now let's talk about the downside. I don't love that they are quite thick. Honestly, it would be amazing if they were about half as thick, but so far that's the only drawback I've noticed. The dividers sit firmly in place, they feel secure, and they really help keep everything organized. By the way, the set comes with 8 dividers, and very soon I'll show you how I used the rest of them around the house. Since I changed my eating habits and lost 7 kilograms or about 15 pounds, salads have become a regular part of my diet. By the way, if you'd like me to share more about that experience, let me know in the comments. Because I use oils and balsamic vinegar for salad dressings, the number of bottles in my kitchen has slowly grown. I keep them next to the stove, so they are in a very visible spot. That's why I wanted to decant them into these cute oil dispensers. I really like that all the parts are dishwasher safe. I still keep the little caps on them, just to avoid any messy surprises. Now it's time to transfer the oils into the bottles. I was too lazy to use a funnel because then I would have to wash it every single time. So I decided to trust my steady hand and pour them like this. For now, just so I don't mix anything up, I made temporary labels with masking tape. I already have a detailed video on my channel where I show different ways to make labels. If you haven't seen it yet, check the description. I'll leave the link there. This time I'll use the easiest method and print the labels with the label maker you've already seen in my previous videos. This label maker is pretty simple, but I really like this framed style. Now I just need to stick the labels on the bottles. Since I now have 5 bottles, they no longer fit on my old favorite tray. Before the tray could hold only 3 full-size bottles, and now it can hold 4, but that still leaves 1 bottle out. So I ordered this bamboo organizer, and all 5 bottles fit inside perfectly. But to be honest, I like the look of the old tray a little more. Friends, please help me choose. Should I keep the first option, the black tray, and move the balsamic vinegar, for example, to the fridge? Or should I use the second option with the bamboo organizer? Which one do you like better? Please let me know in the comments. Have you ever looked at your nails and thought, okay, I really need a manicure? But then you remember you don't have time for a salon appointment. And what if I told you that you can change your nail look whenever you want, to match your outfit, your plans, or just your mood? Let me show you the new Manicure soft gel press-ons. Inside the set you get 32 soft gel press-on nails in 16 sizes, 60 adhesive pads, 2 prep and prime pads, a wooden cuticle stick and a nail file. So you can start your manicure right away at home. What I really like is the flexibility. For a few days or just for a special event, you can use the adhesive pads. And with the pads you can reuse your favorite press-ons later, which is so practical. For longer wear, for example, if you are going on vacation, you can use the glue. It comes with a brush applicator, so it's much easier to apply neatly. The application is simple. Choose the right size, prep your nails with the Prep and Prime pad, apply the pad or glue, place the press on at a slight angle, and press it down firmly for up to 30 seconds. And that's it. It took me about 7 minutes to finish my nails, and I really love the result. They feel thin, comfortable, and look so beautiful. When it's time to remove them, the Manicure press-on release pen helps make the process much gentler. Manicure also offers a 45-day money-back guarantee, and with my code OrgaNatic10 you get 10% off. Check the link and all the details in my description. Almost every kitchen has baking pans and trays, and mine is no exception. Over time, I've collected muffin pans in different sizes, glass baking dishes that I really love, and a few other pieces I can't imagine my kitchen life without. One of the basic rules of organizing is to keep items from the same category together, so I chose this cabinet above the oven for my bakeware. More precisely, it's about the oven and the microwave, but that doesn't really change anything. As you can see, without organizers, this cabinet turns into complete chaos. So I'm going to use one of my favorite organizers, this adjustable rack. I extend it to the size I need, place it inside the cabinet, and then arrange all the baking pans and dishes in the sections. Okay, the bakeware is done. But what about these silicone muffin cups? The solution is very simple. A paper towel holder. And here's the result. I really love bamboo, and for the next kitchen storage idea I'll use these bamboo bag organizers. They are actually very versatile. You can use them as decor and place flowers or greenery inside. Or how about this idea? Put your oil bottles inside, and the area next to the stove instantly looks more stylish and tidy. You could also store plastic bags inside. This is much more compact and convenient than the famous bag full of bags. In my kitchen I plan to use these organizers in the classic way. I have what I call a breakfast cabinet, and the top drawer is for bags. Let's put the organizers inside and see how it looks. When I looked at the original boxes, I got an idea. Inside the boxes there was this cardboard divider between the bags. So why not put that divider inside the organizer? It works really well because now the different types of bags don't get mixed together. You can also make a divider yourself by folding a piece of cardboard like this. I really like the result. Now this drawer should stay neat and organized. And bamboo really is such a beautiful material, isn't it? We use utensils every day, so they need a convenient storage spot that is easy to reach. In my kitchen, the best place for them is this drawer right under the stove. When we ordered the kitchen, I removed the plastic drawer insert from the order at the very last minute because I wanted less plastic in the kitchen. But the wooden insert from the kitchen manufacturer would have cost me around 500 euros. That was a bit too much, even for someone who loves organizing as much as I do. You've already seen these interlocking containers in my bathroom. At first I used them in this drawer for my utensils, and honestly it worked quite well. It looked neat and organized, but I still had this idea in my head that I wanted to use as little plastic as possible in the kitchen. That's when I decided to look for a utensil tray from a private seller. I was only interested in a brand new one, so the search took several months. But eventually I found this beautiful solid oak tray. It was completely new, exactly my style, and the price was very reasonable. The only issue was that my drawer is about 40 inches wide, and this tray was made for a 32-inch drawer. Since the set also included a dispenser for foil and plastic wrap, plus a knife insert, I decided to take those pieces out and place them next to the tray like an extension. Now I just need to put everything in its place. I really love that the sides of this organizer are very thin and made of solid oak. Even though it was still a pricey purchase, even at 1/4 of the original price, I hope it will last for many years and make me happy every time I open this drawer. Let's go back to the utensil tray. This tray only has a dispenser for foil and plastic wrap, so I had one question. Where should I put the parchment paper? Logically, it should be stored next to the other rolls, but there was no space for it at all. Or was there? Then I noticed this small gap and I got a brilliant idea. Well, maybe not exactly brilliant, but still an idea. I measured the baking sheet from my oven and realized that I could easily cut about an inch off the roll without losing anything useful. And voila! Now the parchment paper fits into this dispenser next to the plastic wrap, and I can easily pull it out through this little gap. If you watched my kitchen tour from Poland, you may remember this green box. I used it for medications for several years. My kitchens have always worked well for storing medications here, because neither an induction cooktop nor a modern oven overheats the room. Plus, my kitchen has always been connected to a spacious living room. In my new kitchen, I'll store medications here again, more specifically in the upper section of this cabinet. To create more storage space, I added this expandable shelf first. Since then, the amount of medications and health devices in our home has grown quite a bit, so I sorted everything into these plastic containers that I already had at home. I know, some of you may be shocked by the number of boxes, but if you gather every medication, device and health-related item from around your home, you may also be surprised how much you actually have. To make the boxes easier to use, it's best to label them. For this box, I had a hard time coming up with one general name that described everything inside. So instead, I arranged the items in a way that makes the contents easy to see even without a label. The boxes should be placed so that the most frequently used categories are easiest to reach. For me, the bottom shelf is the most convenient, so I placed the cold and flu box here, along with the box for vitamins. For the vitamin boxes, I cut off the tops and arranged them so I can easily take out the blister packs without pulling out the whole container. If you liked this video, please show it to me by hitting the like button. Please subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you next week. Bye bye!